What's it really like to book a last-minute $50 Carnival booze cruise at a Long Beach solo and then end up in Catalina and Ensenada? I'm talking 48 hours notice, cheapest inside cabin that they have, and a ship that doesn't really look like a Carnival ship and that some people call a booze cruise. Were there fights? Was there booze? Does an inside cabin make you claustrophobic? And most importantly, was there twerking on the Lido deck? Now let me show you what really happens when you roll the dice on fun Italian style.
Talk about how fun it is to cruise and the lifestyle cruise. Forum TV with Dave on the wave.
So when you first see the Firenze import, it already stands out. It's got a big, bright yellow stack with a giant C for Costa or Costa Cruises. I'm not even sure which one it is. So it doesn't even look like a typical Carnival ship. You might get confused when you pull up and you're like, where's our ship? Are we at the wrong port? Uh-oh, this looks like some European ship. Don't worry, it's a Carnival ship. You step on board, when you first get in, and it's all marble columns, gold trim, white stone patterns, kind of like Venice and Las Vegas kind of got smushed together, weird pie or something. And the first thing you're gonna notice is, like, in the spaces, there's a big center bar where everybody's mingling when you first get on the ship, and you're probably gonna go get a drink there before you unpack. And that's also where I spent a lot of time with guest services, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Absolutely, it's a little bit different, and it's definitely Italian looking. And when I say Italian looking, more like your grandma in New Jersey who covers her couches with the plastic wrap on them so they don't get dirty type Italian, which is exactly what my grandma did. So you heard me say 50 bucks. It's true. I booked it like 2 days before it left. I live 2 hours from Long Beach. No big deal. Just drive one up there, park the car, get on the ship. I can do that anytime I feel like it. And it was 50 bucks, not a day, 50 bucks for all 4 nights, 5 days, or whatever it was, 4 days, it's 4 nights. And that's basically before taxes and port fees. And it was for an interior that had bunk beds. At least at first it did. Carnival actually upgraded me, but not before I became super familiar with guest services. I went there like 4, maybe 5 times, sorting out some cabin issues for drink package, and the internet, and then for my room was assigned to 2 other people. So I think what happened is that they canceled last minute. They bumped mine up to an actual where I had a king bed, which was awesome. I was looking forward actually to seeing how comfortable the bunk beds were, which was part of my thing for the idea for the video. It's like, can you really sleep in a bunk bed comfortably? Yes or no? Well, I guess I didn't find out this trip. I had a king size bed, which I also enjoyed, slept like a baby, which I'll get to that in a second. But my keys had somebody else's name on them. I guess the poor people, they couldn't make it on the trip. So I had to go and get my name put on my room key. So that's what happened. But there's no need to worry because the bar's right there. You grab a drink and then you wait 20 to 40 minutes in line for guest services. It is what it is. Not a great way to start a vacation, but it was. So they knew me by my name after the 3rd time I went in there, and they kind of like hooked me up, took care of me as best they could. I didn't like starting my cruise that way, but that's life. Okay, so how was the crowd vibe? Because this is midweek, the crowd was mostly adults, 30s to 60s, just a handful of kids because it was during the week, school, all that stuff. Lots of repeat cruisers from California, Las Vegas. They kind of treat these like a little 4-day mini runs, getaways, because it's super easy, like I said. Even Las Vegas is like 4-hour drive. People from Northern California, Southern California, all around. By night 2, start recognizing faces at the bar and buffet. Cruising solo is actually a lot of fun. You get to meet lots of new people because everybody is super friendly. So if you're gonna go alone anywhere on a vacation, a cruise is probably it. So how's the layout? Layout-wise, felt super familiar to everything that's on Carnival before, except for the Italian part. The Lido deck, still the heartbeat. You got Guy's Burgers, you got the pool, you've got the bars, coffee shop, which I go to twice a day, and the stage for all the Fun Squad antics and stuff. And the Fun Squad was really fun. They always are. The decor, that's where it changes from a Carnival ship. It's like I said, marble columns, and Carnival kind of does a thing where it's like kind of more Mardi Gras looking. Typically in the Firenze, it tones it down with silver, gold, white marble. It's prettier than Carnival. I think Carnival ships are kind of not good looking. I'm not there for the aesthetics, but compared to like Royal Caribbean and MSC and stuff, which look like kind of like a high class hotel, and Carnival ships do not look like that. They look more like you're at a mid-range to low-range casino. I mean, sorry, Carnival people. I've been on, I think, 9 Carnival cruises at this point, 10 maybe. I enjoy them a lot, but the decor, I mean, if you're gonna decorate them somehow, you maybe make them look more fancy or not, don't care. This cruise was $50. So thank you very much, Carnival. I love your cruises still. So our first day was Catalina Island. Now, I've been there a lot of times, perk of living in Southern California. But if it's your first time, here's what you need to do. You rent a golf cart. Get a golf cart. You don't need a tour. You don't need anything. This place is right off of the ship. This is a tender port. This is a tender port. So if you've got mobility issues, you don't like waiting in line, it's going to be a problem. So bring your patience. The waits for the tender can be anywhere from 25 minutes up to like 50 minutes, closer to probably 40, 45. I've never waited less than about 40 minutes in line for a tender on Catalina to get back to a ship. Anytime I've ever went. I don't know if it's just a Carnival thing. So the only ones I've actually done in Catalina have been on Carnival. And sometimes they'll be attached back to the ship and then you'll sit for 30 minutes. I don't know what that's all about. I don't run a ship, I don't know, but other people commented on it, so it was kind of a little bit strange. So get the golf cart and there's signs, you follow a path. Everybody's got a mobile phone, so even if you got lost, it's just part of California, but it's gorgeous. You can see all kinds of wildlife. I highly recommend getting a golf cart, hanging out. And then come back, get your golf cart, put it away, go grab some drinks at some of the bars in the strip. It's a really cool little main drag. Or another thing you can do, which is what I did on this particular trip to Catalina, because I've been there so many times and I've done the golf cart and all that stuff, is I hit the water slides. There's a whole bunch of pretty good water slides, not quite to the level of some of the new super mega ships that are out there on cruise lines, but they're fun and the line was not there. So I like to do things if I go into a port, everybody gets off the ship at like 10:30. I mean, what is there to do at 10 a.m.? I mean, there's stuff to do, but water slides, that's what there is to do. And then you can still go see your port. Do the slides for like an hour and a half and then go see your port. You're not gonna wait in line. Perfect time to do the slides. That's my pro tip. Now, day 2 is Ensenada. And I love Ensenada. Just because it's a kind of a still sleepy little town in Mexico, in Baja. It's your typical Baja town. You go to a bar, it's a little bit off of the main area. Like you'll find people that are riding up on quads that just went quadding, like locals and motorcycles. But what I love most about Ensenada is the food. I love ceviche. I love shrimp tacos. I like Baja fish tacos, all that kind of stuff. And it's really kind of what San Diego Mexican food is based on. It's Baja feeling. You'll get the best ceviche and shrimps and mixtures, a little tostada for like $1.50. You can get like 2 of them and try them out at different stands. And I say stands because you're not gonna get the best food necessarily in a restaurant, although it could be very good. But there are a few different ceviche stands in Ensenada, and they are probably the best in the world. I said it, fight me, comment below. And by the way, if you're finding any of these tips helpful, hit subscribe right now, because I'm trying to give you like the real deal and not just be like a robot and deliver these, like this is what to do. This is what I do, especially if I'm solo on a cruise. There's lots of people to meet, and I'm giving you the stuff that I like to do, which I find after trial and error tends to be a little bit more fun. Ceviche cart. There's a bunch of them. You look them up on Google. I forget the name of the one I was at. Hopefully it's in the video that's showing right now on top. Delicious. $1.50 for the tostada with the ceviche on it. And then it was, I think, $10 or $11 for the big, huge shrimp thing. This is literally like $20 worth of shrimp in this container, and it's just delicious. It's all you'll need to eat all afternoon. Or the bars around there have guacamole and stuff like that. Although, here's a weird thing. The guacamole at 2 of the places I stopped in with the chips cost more than it does where I live in San Diego, California. which I thought blew my mind because I thought guacamole was super expensive to begin with. I thought it'd be cheap in Ensenada. And the last time I was there like 2 years ago, it was cheap. Not anymore. I don't know what's going on with the avocados. Maybe you can comment below and tell me if there's an avocado war or something going on. So tell me. Anyway, great food. And then bars. I like to do some shopping after I go to the bars because I buy things that I really don't need, and I think that's fun sometimes. Irresponsible, but fun. I avoid all the big name bars, the papas and beers and all that kind of stuff, but it seemed like the rest of the ship that came ashore was in that bar. So you can go have fun. If you like to pay 40% more for your beers and pay $5 to $7 for a beer when you could get 2 for like $4, be my guest. I did go to Husong's this time. Previous times I've gone off a little bit, like down the street to like a bar that was half empty, and they'll have drink specials. Same beers, same drinks, just half the price. And there's usually a mom and pop that runs the place, and I kind of like have fun talking to those folks and have a real good time doing that. So I recommend going off, but check out the big name bars. They're tourist traps. They charge you more, and they play like the same 18, 15 songs over and over again, but it is what it is. If that's what you're into, then check them out and do that. I like a little off the beaten path. And then Husong's. When you go to Husong's, they invented the margarita. That's what they claim. They invented the margarita. They probably have the worst margarita that I've ever tasted in my life. And I ordered 2 just because I was like, it can't just be the one. And I remember a couple years ago, same thing, Husong's, get a margarita. And I'm like, this is terrible. So maybe I don't like what a real margarita tastes like, or they invented them and just make bad ones. I don't know. Sometimes people invent things like a cheesesteak. Like in Philadelphia, if you go get a cheesesteak, everybody goes to Pat's and Geno's. They're probably the worst cheesesteaks in Philadelphia, but they invented them. So everybody goes there. But the best ones aren't there. They're somewhere else. So South Street, South and 4th, trust me on that one. It's one of the best in the world for cheesesteaks. I'm off topic now, but Husong's margarita, but you got to try it. And then tell me if you've ever had a margarita at Husong's in Ensenada, and tell me if it was terrible. Maybe I'm crazy. Heading out of Ensenada, I do my shopping, and I had $100 burning a hole in my pocket. So I bought way too many blankets and ponchos that I do not need. And I thought I'd give them away as gifts, and I did for my son. But I got my favorite football team ponchos and blankets. I negotiated half off, and I thought it was a good deal. Did I need them? No, but I have fun buying them, so hopefully they'll bring me luck. Back on the ship, I like to hit the casino, and I was trying to see how many points I could get. I'm gonna do a whole video on this. I got 271 points, and I gambled approximately 3 nights between 2 and maybe 4.5 hours each night with $20 hands, mostly at roulette and also at blackjack. And I ended up with 271 points. I don't know if that's good or bad. I thought that I would earn more points by doing what I was doing. So I don't know if I have to gamble, because I couldn't have gambled much more unless I did it like all day on sea day. But even then I wouldn't be getting like a free cruise level. So also comment below and let me know, am I nuts? Should I have gotten more than 271 points? I was friendly with the pit boss. He knew me by name. He was seeing how much I was gambling, and maybe $20 a hand isn't enough. The minimum was 10. I was doing double the minimum. So I don't know how much I have to gamble to get a free cruise or a highly discounted one, or free drinks while I'm gambling, which would be awfully nice. Because then I wouldn't need to get the drink package because it would even out. But I don't know. But casino, super fun, real friendly. It wasn't too crowded. Just the right amount of space, just the right amount of people. They really do the casino really nicely on this ship. It's one of my favorite parts about this ship was the casino. Good times. Okay, so for something else, for entertainment, there is a nightclub on board. There's like comedians, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to check out the nightclub because it's kind of the only thing to do after like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it's kind of weird setup. It's where they have the comedians and all that kind of stuff. And what they do is there's like seats that go around, and the seats that go around, it's like you're watching everybody like a voyeur. And the other problem is that they don't have a bar in there. They actually wheel in like a drink cart with 2 bartenders for the whole nightclub. So the line was to the door to leave. So when I needed a drink, I just got up, I walked down the hall about, I don't know, 30 seconds away to the next bar that was on the ship, got my drink with no wait or line, and then came back and then stared at people dancing in front of me, because you don't really have a choice. You're either on the dance floor or it's like a stadium or like a round table, people like in a theater watching you. So a little bit strange compared to some other ships. Like I was on Star Seas in August, and they have like a full-on nightclub that's like 2 stories tall, which is much more like a bar nightclub. Like you feel like you're in Nashville as opposed to like a cruise ship. This is like a little weird. I'm not sure if I would choose to do my space that way if I was the cruise company, but it is what it is. People seem to be having a pretty good time dancing, so great. So pro tip on any of these ships, if there's a line, go to the next bar. There's probably no wait at the next bar. There's no wait. Just go get it and come back. Now, here's a big difference. If you're picky and you like a good buffet, this probably isn't the ship for you. And I'm hoping it's not the whole cruise line. But compared to what I've been seeing on like other lines, like Royal Caribbean, the Windjammer, it kind of blows it away. Now, what Carnival might do better is all the other alternative eating options that are included. Guy Fieri burgers, there's an Italian Mexican spot, there's like little sandwich spots. There's a whole bunch of other areas to go that you can get. Now, at the buffet, it was disappointing. It was kind of like more like a cafeteria. At dinner, like the breakfast, good. Because breakfast buffets are always pretty much the best buffet you're gonna find on any cruise ship. So I don't hate to compare it to the Windjammer, but the Windjammer on Royal Caribbean, it's like, especially on the like Star of the Seas, it's like you could like, I want Asian, I want Mexican, I want this, Americana. It's you got a whole vegan section. You've got a whole gluten-free area. It's like you can pick and choose. It's like the biggest buffet. It's like a Vegas style buffet. It's huge. So many choices. This was like, here's our food today. Here's like the salad bar. It's like, Wah. And then next to it was like, here's your 5 entrees to choose from. Do you want beef stroganoff? Do you want noodles? Do you want some broccoli thing or like curry something? And like, that was it. So not great if you're, whatever. I'm not a picky eater, but if I was with a picky eater, they'd be bummed out. They'd probably go get pizza because the pizza's just always there. Get your pizza. And the pizza it's not the best pizza at sea. But I think the whole thing with Carnival is this. Is it the best, fanciest line? No. Does it have the best food? No. Does it have the best service? It's not bad service. So, I mean, you could say it's actually got good service. When I compare my Carnival to my Disney service, and Disney costing 300% generally more than a Carnival cruise, I don't think that Disney gives you 300% better food or 300% service. And so I would say Carnival was doing a great job on this ship with the service. My room steward was great. The bartenders were great to me. The casino staff was great. So I'm gonna say the service was excellent. The food was not. Where the food did excel was in the dining room. Now the dining room itself isn't super fancy, but the food was good. And here's my pro tip. I tried all kinds of different things. I think you can get 2 or 3 entrees. There's limits on some of the lines now, but I got little tasters. So anything that's on the main entree, they will make you a small version. So it's like an app. So if you can't choose, I wanted like the seafood spaghetti one night, but I was like, I don't want the whole thing. And I was like, I still want to get my surf and turf. So I ordered the surf and turf, which is steak and lobster. And then I got the little pasta as my appetizer. So they'll accommodate you in that manner. So that was like, it was great. So, and then the other thing, here's your big tip, steak and lobster. It's $25. So you can pay like $45 to $65 to eat at the steakhouse and get your surf and turf, or $25. I find it hard to believe. I don't think that they're using different surf and turf at these locations. So I think you're getting the same food with a little bit different atmosphere. So $25, slam dunk, home run. I did the wrong sports metaphor, but I found that was a great deal. That's a good bargain. Also, another pro tip on Carnival and some other cruise lines, when you look at the menu on your phone, because everything is like, since COVID, scan the QR code. If the menu is right there, and if you push left once, it gives you, I think the vegan menu first, And then you slide it again and it gives you a gluten-free menu. So if you have food things like vegan or gluten-free, all you do is slide the menu over. You just swipe and it goes and gives you the menu you need. So I don't think a lot of people know that. So if you do, that's a good tip there, is you slide the menu over. One of the other people on the cruise who had these food allergies told me that. I think that that's something that people, what's up, Lars? That want to know about that. So I thought that was a really great tip. All right, so how fun is the fun ship, right? They're always fun. Sunday when we boarded was NFL Sunday. So the ship was really alive. Games were on all the TVs, the big screen. Everybody had their gear on, talking smack in a good way. It was really a lot of fun at Sunday because it was just football everywhere up and through the night. They had the Sunday night games. The sports bar on Firenze is more of a sports closet, but they do have a bunch of TVs. It's just narrow. I hate to compare to the mega ships, but the mega ships literally have sports bars the size of Buffalo Wild Wings practically inside of them. It's true. So to go to this, but they have the games like 10, 15 years ago, and maybe you haven't cruised in a while. You couldn't watch anything because the TV was like closed circuit, whatever. They got every game you're going to want on because it's all satellite. Which reminds me, the internet was awesome too. The internet was awesome. It worked great. It's a little more expensive on Carnival than other cruise lines, which I found interesting. But I also didn't book it beforehand, and that's a big mistake that I made, which you should not do. You should get it beforehand. But that's my bad. And also I booked 48 hours. So I booked, and then I was like, I'll handle it when I get on the ship. And then I had trouble because of the room confusion. So I couldn't book the stuff and get the discount. So it is what it is. And now for what everybody's probably wondering, because they've seen the news over and over again lately, were there any fights on board? No, everybody was super, super friendly. I saw one guy get out of hand twice, and he was literally yelling and screaming in the face of one of the pit bosses, threatening him with harm. And the guy kept his cool, good for him, but this guy was berating him and threatening him, and the guy kept his cool, and then nothing happened of it. And then the guy was in the casino the next 2 nights. I guess whatever, but that was the only thing I saw the whole ship. And now, was there twerking? There was dancing. I don't know if there was twerking necessarily. I'll have to look at the video, and if I find it, I'll put it in here. But there was dancing on deck. Weren't a lot of kids on this ship, so it really didn't matter if they were twerking. I'm all for the twerks. Twerk away. Kind of like it. Twerk, 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 twerk. So I don't mind it. So yeah, people were friendly. There was dancing and laughter and a lot of fun. I had no problem meeting people. The hot tubs were a little crowded because the pools on this ship aren't huge. They're what you'd expect from a mid-sized ship. The ship isn't tiny. It's also not huge. And the hot tubs, I was in the adult area, the adult only area for most of that. And the whole time, like, you really had to wait for somebody to leave and then go get their spot. And it was also hard to get service in the adult area. There was always a line of at least like 5 people. So it took like 10 minutes plus to get a drink and to wait in line. They didn't have a waiter. So that's where the service could have been better. They didn't have enough people in the adult area. There was a woman that was working the bar, and then like a bar back, and then another guy that kept disappearing. He had to wait a long time to get a drink, which was kind of a bummer. And I feel like they make money on drinks, so they should be kind of like, getting those out quick. But who am I, right? I don't run a cruise ship. I just figured one extra person manning that station could have made a lot more money for them and made everybody else feel better about their drink service. Just my take. Now, for the cabin. Inside room, did I get claustrophobic? No, I did not. I didn't miss not having a balcony. But this is also an itinerary where I'm on the Pacific. It's not like it's super blue, turquoise water like you get like going towards like the Virgin Islands or something. So I don't need a balcony to watch the ocean that I live next to anyway. I don't need a balcony to watch an ocean that I live near anyway. So I didn't mind that. If I would want to have a balcony if I'm in the Caribbean somewhere, Mexico, Caribbean, that side, where the water is like bluer and it's a lot warmer out. I really do enjoy my time out in the balcony on those ships. But like I said, this was $50 for a room with a king size bed. And the one really big thing about an inside room is that mine was surrounded by other cabins. It was quiet. And it was dark when I went to sleep, and the AC was kicking. There have been complaints on some ships not Carnival, but some other cruise lines lately, where the AC midship was not working, and I was midship in a king size bed, and there was plenty of room in this room, but it is just me, so plenty of spots to put all my stuff. I felt like it was a little bit bigger because it was like the way it was arranged. It was an inside room. I slept like a baby. Everybody I know that gets inside cabins said the same thing, and it's true. This was my first inside cabin, so I would do it again. I wouldn't say 10 of 10 would do again, but for the price difference, if I'm gonna save like 50%, give me an inside cabin. I can walk on deck and stare at all I want for hours, right? It's not gonna kill you. So inside cabin is worth it if that's the only thing you can afford, or if you wanna save money for the drink package or whatever it is like that, or for your gambling. You're gonna need it because you only get 271 points. So that's really about it. Taking a $50 Carnival booze cruise. It wasn't super boozy. It's about as boozy as any 4-day cruise. Maybe the 3 days gonna be crazier. People were friendly. It wasn't out of hand. It wasn't over a weekend either, so that probably played into it. If you're looking for a really high-end buffet, skip this ship. Just eat in the dining room. It's a 4-day cruise. It's $50. Totally worth it. I think ultimately it ended up being like $380 or something with the taxes and fees, or maybe it was like $300. But it's cheaper than staying in a hotel, and the food was included. So that's awesome. And the other bonus with doing the Catalina trip is, like, if you work remotely like I do, you can work, and for 2 of the days, you're just on regular my Verizon, because Catalina is part of California. And so then you're only offline for like 2 days, which you might need anyway to detox from all electronics. So I recommend this ship. The Firenze was actually a nice change of pace from the Mardi Gras looking Carnival. It looks kind of like somebody vomited their color scheme in an impressionist painting and then decided to put it into a carpet and picked the colors. I don't know. There's a science to it, I'm sure, but I don't understand it at all. But hey, it's fun. There are fun ships. Bright colors, fun. Okay, maybe I get it. This ship is worth it for the price. Don't expect fancy at all. Don't expect dumpy either, depending on what your standards are. But if you're booking a $50 cruise, I don't think you're looking for super high standards in the first place anyway. The room is clean. The ship was clean. The dining room food was decent. The stuff you get along the way, the burgers were great. Overall, I'd say I had a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Just because it was a nice, relaxing itinerary. I didn't really have any problems except for day 1. And it was just fun. You can have fun on these ships. So go ahead and book one. Anyway, I'm Dave. This is CruiseForum TV. And if you liked this or you thought it was useful, and I want you to comment about how much you think I need to gamble in order to get a free cruise or at least free drinks in the casino. 271 points. Should I have gotten more? Should I ask for more? Comment below, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. And I have one for the Star of the Seas that I'm putting together right now, and that ship is nuts. It's also not $50. I'll see you guys later.
Talk about how fun it is to cruise.